Hi, this is Sam Grant, and today we're going to learn how to create outline text using Adobe Illustrator. Now, creating outlines is a very simple procedure, and we're going to show you just how simple it really is. To start out with, we're going to be using the selection tool to actually select the letters. The selection tool is the black arrow that sits at the very top of the Illustrator tool palette. With this tool selected, click on the copy and notice two visuals. First, the bounding box that goes around the outside of the entire group of letters. Also notice the presence of a baseline going through the bottom of the letters as well. These are visual cues to let you know that you are still staring at text. Now, the outline form actually takes away the text capabilities and gives you the ability to manipulate all the letters as if they were drawn with a simple drawing tool, without having to create the letters yourself from scratch. To visually show this, what we're going to do is that we're going to make a copy of this so we can see the difference. Press and hold down your Alt or Option key on your keyboard and notice that your arrow tip now has a black tip and a white tip. This is a visual indicator that you're getting ready to copy something. Press and hold down the mouse and drag the letters straight down the page until you get to a comfortable position. Once you arrive there, release the mouse first and then release the Option or Alt key. You now have an exact duplicate of the letters at the top and at the bottom of the page. Now we're going to illustrate the difference by taking one of the sets and creating outlines for it. And this is how simple it is. Go to the Type menu and simply choose Create Outlines. It's about the middle of the list. Notice now that the baseline is gone and all of the letters now have multiple anchor points at various places around the letters. That means that these are no longer fonts, but they are now objects. To see the difference, simply go up to the View menu and switch from the Preview mode to Outline. You can now see that all fonts show up as character letters here. You can still see the baseline around the bounding box, but the other letters at the bottom no longer have those features. So this is another good visual cue to let you know what's outlined and then what is still text. Let's go back to the Preview mode. Now, to manipulate the letters, you'll notice one thing is a problem. First of all, if I click away and click back, no matter which letter that I click on, it automatically selects every letter in the grouping. That's because all of the characters, once they've been created as outlines, have been saved together in one group. To do this, we need to ungroup the letters. Now, since all of the characters are objects, all of the manipulation we want to do to these now are located under the Object menu. So simply go to the Object menu and choose Ungroup. What Ungroup does, it separates the individual characters into separate individual pieces. Now when I click away, I can select any individual letter by itself by simply clicking around. Now let's have some fun. I'm going to grab the two O's in the 2008. And then holding down the Shift key, I'm going to drag these until they're large enough to become like two tires. And I'm going to move them further down the page. Let's move the 2 in the front and the 8 to the back. The visual we're going for now is like a little cartoon car. Select the O and the F and then move this down to the characters. I'm going to position it so it's slightly above the tires. Let's go ahead and make that a little bit smaller. Now, if you were to position the arrow so that it's near the bounding box but not actually touching it, you'll notice that the arrow turns into this boomerang shape with two arrowheads. This is a rotate feature which allows you to manipulate the bounding box. By pressing the mouse down at this stage, I can then rotate the letters to any angle that I want. I'm going to stop at this angle and then move the letters down into this groove. Now, let's get the C and the L and move that to the front so that it's about here. And then take the two S's and move them to the back so that they hang over the slight edge of the car here. Now I'm going to position the letter A so that it's directly above the of. By grabbing the bottom center portion and pressing the Shift key, I'm going to scale the letter A up until it comes down and touches the tops of the letters. Now I'm going to stretch this just a little bit, so I have a little bit of room underneath here for the word of to be seen visually. Let's grab the C and the L and slide that a little bit under the letters. And there's my visual. So now what I've done is I've taken a simple phrase of the class of 2008 and then turned it into this interesting little cartoon car. You can do more to this by simply going down and selecting the letters and changing the colors of certain things to get more car characteristics. For example, I can make the tires black, and I can make the headlights yellow. I can even take the A and switch that to a different color. This is just an example of some of the things that you can do to have fun after you've created outlines using Adobe Illustrator. Practice on your own and see if you can come up with some interesting graphics just like these. Thanks for listening.